Hello, today I'd like to share with you some tips for managing challenging behaviour. It's well known fact of Developmental Framework that children aged between 0 and 7 learn through their bodies. Children aged between 7 and 14 learn through their feelings. And children aged between 14 and 21 learn through their thinking. You can only begin to reason with a child after the age of 3.5 years old. Under the age of 3.5, you use the technique called swoop, scoop and distract, and then reset. Over 3, they may begin to listen to you and respond to reason, but if that doesn't work, then swoop, scoop and distract. We often waste a lot of energy with young children trying to negotiate them into a better state, into a more positive state of behaviour. But remember, children don't develop reason until around 3.5 years, so giving lots of explanations isn't going to help. Remember, you can't reason with an unreasonable person. So what do you do if you can't reason? Number 1, which I've already told you, is distract, swoop and scoop. Another is give no response to the unreasonable behaviour. When some little child is, having a patty about putting their shoes on, I just totally ignore it and carry on. Don't give any response to that unreasonable behaviour. Respond positively to the appropriate behaviour and redirect into positive action, such as, if I count to 5, do you think you can get your shoes on by that? Create that little challenge for them, and then they might try and rise to it. Model the correct behaviour and show the preferred route. For over 3s, never try to enforce boundaries during that time of conflict, because if the boundary is not already there and known, then it is hopeless. And it's only polite and reasonable for children to be taught first and trained first. So let the child calm down and teach them the boundary and the consequence when they are calm and agreeable. Children are ruled by will and desire, and we know that desire is the need that is never satisfied, just like shoes or bags. It can never be satisfied. Remember to be patient and be repetitive in what we say, and it will take time, energy, and lots of repeating actions to have a child achieve a new pattern of behaviour. Children learn best through modelling and imitation. So in your adult teaching teams or in your home, make sure that there is no arguing, displaying of negative behaviours or negative talk such as sarcasm. Because if you do it, so will the child. Teachers in a childcare centre are only one of the 3 main ways or influences in a child's life. So teachers in a childcare is only one of the 3 main influences in a child's life. The other 2 are the child's family and any screen time the child is having on a regular basis. Because young children process what they see through physical action, it's important to remember that any initial displays of violence, destruction or anger in a child are often a reflection of their environment and are an unconscious action. So if we have a child that enters into our childcare centre and they're having great displays of violence or destruction, we make sure that we don't overly put any emphasis on it. Because if you provide a large reaction to their behaviour, and it draws attention to it, and because that child has acted unconsciously, they do not understand it. They're behaving in a way that they see at home. So when we react to it, it needs to be less reactive and more positive, because we are inadvertently drawing attention to their behaviour, and if we draw attention to that behaviour, then it's more likely to be repeated. No matter what is happening at home, children can adjust to different behaviour expectations within your program. Remember that it is difficult for children to come into line with the rules if they don't know what the rules are. So go over their expectations on a regular basis so they become automatically ingrained. Set the benchmark for behaviour as one warning and then a consequence. They have to have that one warning and then they need to respond. For example, if you're going out for a walk, then remind the children of the expectations before leaving the centre, and then state the natural consequence if they don't live up to those expectations. If you see any unwanted behaviour, then they have one warning or a reminder, walking, not running. And they know that running's not appropriate when we're right by the cars. And the natural consequence kicks in, such as, well, now you have to hold my hand. There's no walking freely at the moment. And so it's just quite straightforward. You give the expectation, you remind, then you give the consequence. And hopefully those little tips for managing behaviour will help you in your classroom. Thank you.